201.
Welcome back. You're listening to Get Down to Business. I'm your host, Shalom Klein, joined here in studio with Linda Nicholls of IMC Solutions. We were just chatting a little bit about job boards and the many differences and many similarities as well, but certainly likely many differences in terms of the cost structure, in terms of the niche of industries for each of those sites. But Linda, one thing that we didn't have a chance yet to cover is I've seen some terms thrown around, job postings and job slots. Linda Nicholls, what's the difference?
The difference is a job posting is going to be one job that will stay up there for your contracted duration, usually 30 days, sometimes 60 days, depends on the site. A job, and you can edit it, but you can't change the title, you can't change anything, any of the real details about the job. Whereas a job slot is usually because you've purchased in a package of 3 or 100. If you, let's say 2 weeks into your job posting, you've filled the job, but you've got another job. You can take all that information down and post a new job,
A new position.
So
And
they're interchangeable.
You mentioned earlier something that I've just been thinking about, that a big part of job boards is it's advertising as well. It's not really just about the filling of the position, but many companies that have ongoing hiring needs, it's a necessary evil. They have to keep a presence up on the job boards, and likely if you do enough digging, you'll see some of those companies that have that presence, and they have likely dozens of jobs posted at any given point. How important is it to keep that information fresh? Not to, we talked earlier in the program with Gail Norton about innovating and adapting. Companies have to innovate and adapt, and I have to assume that at some point, if you just use the same job posting for the nurse position that you're recruiting for, it's just going to get old, and you're not going to attract the clients, the talent that you need. Tell us a little bit about your experiences in that.
Well, it's a form of marketing, and so you have to constantly stay up on keeping your message fresh. The actual facts of the job, the requirements and qualifications might not change, but maybe you can change your introductory language to tell something special about the job, special about your company, what makes it a great place to work, and that can keep your posting fresh, even if it's a position that you have to hire for every single month.
That's great. So, Linda, our listeners are our friends, and with friends, we share some secrets. And Linda, I want to see. I think you have a secret. You whispered to me during our commercial break that good companies that use job boards well know regarding when they're posting their positions. Do you mind sharing it with our friends, our listeners?
Well, I don't think it's a matter of when they post, but when to buy your posting package. I can't say that I have knowledge on that this technique would work if you're only buying one, but if you are buying multiple, 3 or more, do it the last week of the month, because every job board has sales reps with contests, and they have quotas to meet, and that's the week that they'll negotiate. Just don't wait to the last day of the month. Start it in the last week of the month.
That's really good advice. So, Linda Nicholls, IMC Solutions, you clearly know a thing or two about the world of job boards. I've never had as in-depth of a discussion on this subject, but it's certainly something that companies of all sizes are dealing with. Companies have hiring needs. Linda, we've spoken on this program about the work of IMC Solutions and the approach that you take. Why use a recruiter? When do you use a recruiter? When do you use a job board? What's the difference? How should a company make that decision?
Well, most companies are going to they're going to try the job postings. They're going to get very disappointed.
Okay,
they just will. You use a recruiter because we have the expertise to go find candidates. We don't rely on the job boards. Do I put ads out there? Of course I do. But we're digging through resume databases, our proprietary database as well. We're going after the passive candidates. We go out and find them a job board brings candidates to you. So it's
got
an
it.
opposite reach.
I feel so overwhelmed by the knowledge in the studio today. Starting with Buzz Ruttenberg talking about his English, his volunteer English education in Israel, but also his experience at Belgravia Group, and then Gail Norden talking to us, continuing the conversation from Black Rhino recruiting, and now Linda, you're teaching me so much about job boards, and frankly, both of you have so much experience in working with companies, different types of companies, but so much experience. And I know our listeners, I'm seeing from the messages being received right now, are learning so much from you. So, Linda, I know people will have follow-up questions. I know people have reached out to you with follow-up questions in the past, and I want to make sure our listeners have the opportunity to do the same this week. Linda Nicholls from IMC Solutions, how can people get a hold of you?
Absolutely. They can call me directly at 630-637-6200 or visit our website, www.imcsolutions.com, or email me at lnichols@imcsolutions.com.
imcsolutions.com. Check them out, and you'll learn a lot more about the services that are provided, some additional resources, and learn a little bit about Linda and her very impressive resume in working with companies of all shapes and sizes. Once again, you're listening to Get Down to Business, the show all about small business jobs and entrepreneurship. We are powered by Tandem HR, your solutions center. You can find them at tandemhr.com, tandemhr.com, or give them a call, 630-928-0510. That phone number again, 630-928-0510. After the break, I've got a lot more tips, advice, and information for you. You don't want to touch that dial. You're listening to Get Down to Business.
Great.